Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie, with a cup of tea in my mug today. Yeah, actually, I could do with a biscuit, couldn't I? Do with a biscuit, but maybe I'll have a cup of tea with a biscuit after. Oh God, that's hot. Okay, duh. So let's have a look at this poor lady who's gone missing. I'll keep checking to see if there's any update. It's just because I think I would believe. I believe. Yeah, no updates so far because I think they're just sort of waking up down under, are they? Hi, Kelly. I think it's probably early hours of the morning. Is it in Australia now? So we'll see what today brings. But yeah, so Samantha went for a jog. Now, this is a very familiar thing, isn't it? As well, about trails. We still don't know what happened to Rachel Marin. And actually, tonight on Members, I was going to do, say an update. It's not exactly an update because there is no update in the sense of Rachel Marin, who we covered, the lady, the mum of 5, who went on a nature trail in Maryland in the USA. Her killer still has not been apprehended. And that's what I was planning on doing today, was an update. And then my subscriber sent me this information about this case. So I thought, I'll do that because I hadn't heard of it. I'm presuming you haven't heard of it. And I think the similarities as well, there's some similarities to the Nicola Bulley case. And yes, it's a mystery at the moment. It's a complete mystery. So I thought it'd be interesting to talk about, but I think there is still hope that she may come back safe and sound. There's a bit of hope. We've always got to have hope. That's the other thing that's been mentioned in this case. People don't just disappear into thin air. Think of anything that however small. We've always got to have hope. So many things that sort of resonate from what we heard in the early days of the Nicola Bulley case. And I'm not saying they mean anything, that they mean that Samantha's husband is involved in any way or anything like that. I think it's just intriguing, these similarities sometimes. Now, I'm going to start off by telling you, because the Daily Mail, which I didn't realise, but it's all over the world, isn't it? Of course, it will be in Australia. Who owns the Daily Mail? I don't know, but the Daily Mail has been all over this case, while at the same time telling armchair detectives not to speculate. Oh my God, it's just incredible, isn't it? No, don't you speculate. Don't you dare speculate. But the Daily Mail has been speculating with article after article after article. But part of the things that they say is, terrible armchair detectives are starting to speculate about this case, which is just so annoying, isn't it? But anyway, let's start. Let's see, what will we start? We'll start with their speculation, shall we? So after telling us not to speculate, they've done a whole article, wild theories. Let's have a look. I'll show you. I'll share it with you. Hi, Kelly. Oh, yeah, good. If you don't mind people knowing. So it was Kelly that let me know about this case. It's very interesting, Kelly, and I can see why it attracted your attention straight away. Hi, Claire. So this is the first thing that I just want to go through. This is the Daily Mail Australia. Samantha Murphy. So that's the name of this lady who's gone missing. She's in her early 50s. She's got children. She's married. Wild theories emerge after Ballarat missing woman completely vanished on a Sunday morning run. as her family addressed disgusting rumours. So they start off saying this about conspiracy theories, armchair detectives, and then they spend the whole article speculating about what might have happened to her. I mean, they're just, it just makes me speechless, the irony of it, and they can't see their own hypocrisy. But anyway, the mysterious disappearance of mother of three, Samantha Murphy, has spawned a slew of conspiracy theories, ranging from the wild and offensive to the plausible and possible. And I suppose it's the Daily Mail who decides which are wild and offensive and which are plausible and possible. And the other reason this reminds me of the Nicola Bulley case is it is like the media trying to whip it up again, isn't it? So they whip it up and then they condemn what they've whipped up, if you like. Because people wouldn't know all this if it wasn't in the mainstream media. You know, people wouldn't be speculating at all because they wouldn't even know that it had happened. So it's the mainstream media that whip it up into a frenzy, don't they? And then it's like, no, you know, you mustn't talk about it anyway. So she's 51 years old, Samantha, and she vanished while she was out for a 7:30 a.m. jog, which apparently was not unusual for her, in the Woo Karung Regional Park beauty spot near Ballarat in Victoria in Australia last Sunday. So they've been scouring the bushland. So you can imagine what this regional park is like, how big it is. And it's got lots of off trails. So you've got like the main trail going round, and then there'll be lots of trails going off. So it's not beyond the realms of possibility that she may have tripped and fell and banged her head or whatever, and she maybe lay there waiting for someone to come and get her. It's not beyond the realms of possibility, let's say that. So police, SES volunteers and an army of locals have scoured huge areas of bushland in the past 5 days, but they haven't found a single trace of her. Here she is. This is Samantha. Her home CCTV caught her on camera as she left for the run, and she was also thought to be a tiny figure in the background of other CCTV footage. So there was a big sort of appeal when they found this CCTV footage that looked as if it was her running along the trail, but somebody else has come forward and said that they were that person. So that has been completely discounted. So the only CCTV footage they have of her is, I think, in her home, her own home CCTV. Caught her on camera as she left for the run. Don't know if it is when she left for the run, actually, because she was walking back towards the house, not walking away from the house. But anyway, there you go. That's a moot point. And her mobile phone pinged a local cell tower at around 5 p.m. on Sunday. So that's quite a long time afterwards, isn't it? So if she left at 7:30. And her phone pinged a cell tower around 5 p.m. Yeah, it's a big gap in time there. Anyway, which can only locate her anywhere within 17 kilometres of nearby Mount Buninyong. But there the trail of clues runs cold. Well, it runs cold as far as we're concerned, but I'm sure the police have got more than that to go on. The police one that we're going to see talking later, she just would not comment on, active parts of the investigation. So as always, I'm sure the police know a lot more than they're saying at the moment. We're going to continue to search, and we've been keeping an open mind considering all possibilities, said Acting Inspector Lisa McDougall. We're being extremely thorough and methodical with that investigation. So here we go. Now here's the attack on the armchair detectives and trolls. We've gone into overdrive as speculation explodes about the beloved mother's fate with 10 key theories now emerging. So it just makes me laugh, because if it wasn't so sad, this poor woman, you know, they talk about the speculation, gone into overdraft, and then they come up with 10 key theories. So we're going to go through the theories anyway. So this is her husband. We're going to see him being well, he wasn't interviewed. He gave a press conference. Him and her daughter. Was very heartfelt, and you know, her husband Mick, you know, I just don't know, because again, it's like one of those people that I don't know him, I don't know what he's normally like. You know, you can watch it and you can always find something that looks strange, but one thing that did strike me, that's which is what had struck Kelly, was when he said people don't just disappear into thin air, and a couple of other things which were exactly identical to what had been said in Nicola's case. Anyway, so Miss Murphy's family have attacked the online trolls who have been falsely alleging Miss Murphy's husband was behind her disappearance. Well, I don't know I haven't read any of that. I mean, I've spent a lot of time on this today. I've looked at Facebook things, I've looked at Twitter, etc., X. And I haven't really found anybody saying that it was him. Anyway, false claims her husband was involved. So this is the first theory. Let me just come and just make sure you're all right. I'm sure you are. Oh, Illy, we understand you. That's right. Yeah, good. You will learn probably quite a lot of English from the chat. You do learn from messages, but your English is perfect, you know, as far as chat's concerned. So yeah, you're all okay. Good. So right, let me go back to this then. So, false claims that her husband was involved. On Thursday, Miss Murphy's family attacked the online trolls who have been falsely alleging Miss Murphy's husband Mick was behind her disappearance. For those questioning Samantha's husband, you need not worry. And of course, he might not have anything to do with it. And I'll tell you why. There's a few different reasons for various things when we get into it. Said a statement to the Facebook group set up to help in the hunt, and said to be from a family member. He is in more pain than anyone and would be the last person to suspect in any of this. The couple run the Inland Motor Bodyworks smash repairs business in Ballarat, and on Wednesday he was seen looking distraught in his car at the search location. He broke his silence. So another similarity, he's been silent, completely silent until now, which is shorter timing than with Paul as far as Nicola was concerned. But it's 5 days. So she went missing on Sunday, and today, when they say Thursday, that's like yesterday, I think, in America, in Australia. But and he thanked the company for their support, and he begged for any new information. People don't just vanish into thin air, he added. Someone's got to know something. And we're actually going to watch that video shortly, so you get a better idea of him. So we've got the home here, and this is the search area. Now, there was like a bit of a kerfuffle when something was found, and they cordoned off a crime scene immediately, but that was found to not bear any relevance. Whatever the object was that they found, it was found to not have any relevance to Samantha's disappearance. It did not belong to Samantha, but there was like a brief sort of, oh gosh, we found something. And then that was another thing that I think maybe led people to be was that he went to the scene when he heard that it had been cordoned off. But I think you perhaps would do that, wouldn't you, anyway? You know, if your loved one was, well, I'd be out searching, to be honest. Apparently that's the other reason that some people are a little bit dubious about him, is he hasn't been out searching. And he gave a reason for it. It'll come up as we go through everything. which I thought was a very strange reason. But anyway, he hasn't been out searching at all. So that was another reason that maybe some people are a little bit suspicious. And another similarity, of course. Anyway, the second theory, but don't speculate, according to the Mail, is a local did it. So another wild claim. Why are they even saying these? Why are they, they're moaning about these things, but they're coming out with this story. You wouldn't know about it otherwise. I wouldn't have known about this unless they'd said it. Another wild claim alleges Miss Murphy was involved in an ongoing dispute with a local who took their revenge while she was out on her regular run. But this theory was shot down by the police on Thursday, who say they have no evidence so far. And this is what the policewoman says, and we'll be watching the video. I thought the policewoman sounded quite was good, to be honest, but she said we have no evidence so far. That's what she said. We have no evidence so far of any criminal intent behind Samantha's disappearance. At the moment, there are no suspicious circumstances that we've identified at this stage. And there is no suggestion that Miss Murphy had any ongoing dispute with any neighbours or locals. So then they're just showing them searching. And another thing is, this area is notorious for snakes. So that's another, thing that might have happened. She might have been bitten by a snake, I suppose, or, she could easily have had an accident. I'm going to show you some information shortly. There was a jogger who went missing and was presumed to have been MURDER, and her body actually a year later was found. Jurinka, what was her name? Jurinka. Anyway, I've got. We're going to be looking at it. Jurinka Binks, I think her name was, and a year later, her body was found in a ravine, and she had fallen down the ravine and broken both her legs, bless her, and obviously could not get out, and it was so remote, nobody heard her. And so, so sometimes it isn't foul play. People have accidents when they go into rough terrain. But her friend said she would never have gone off into the little trails. She would have kept to the main path. She would not have gone off into the sort of dangerous parts. Tragic accident. One of the most plausible theories is that Miss Murphy may have had an accident while out on the run through the area known locally as Canadian Forest. Locals say the bushland there is notorious for snakes, with many of the searchers spotting several while out hunting for Miss Murphy this week. She may also have tripped over rocks or branches in the rugged countryside or taken ill, leaving her badly injured and unable to return. The concern is that time may be running out for Miss Murphy, because if she's trapped or disabled in the open, the temperatures have hit 36 degrees since she vanished. So, of course, it's hot there at the moment. A little warning about this next photo. This is not her. This is a girl who was attacked on the same trail. And this is a picture she took of her injuries. And this girl is called Sissy Austin. And she posted photos of herself before and after an attack that she suffered on that same trail exactly a year ago by a man armed with a rock tied to a stick. So there is a history of an attack there. So it's possible she could have been attacked. But this girl, she was sort of left unconscious. She never said that there was any sex assault either. That doesn't mean necessarily that there wasn't, but she hasn't talked about that at all. We're going to look at her talking shortly as well. So this is another possibility, isn't it? A brutal attack by a stranger. You can't go on these trails. Women can't go alone on these trails without something happening to them. because locals say the area is notorious for drug users, while search parties have also found evidence of homeless encampments deep within the bush. This reminded me so much of Rachel Marin's case as well, because I have a feeling that that guy, he may have been living in a homeless encampment in that, because he'd the one that's that they're looking for that murdered Rachel Marin. He had been involved with something else in Los Angeles, and he could have been hiding in that forest. But anyway, I presume it's not him that's here, but he's not gone all the way to Australia. Goodness. Anyway, Green Senator candidate Cissy Austin was savagely attacked a year ago while she was on a run just 20 kilometres away from where Miss Murphy vanished, sparking fears of a similar attack. She was running along a similar track when she was smashed in the face by a random stranger wielding a rock tied to the end of a stick. The blow knocked her unconscious and left her face bloodied and bruised when she finally came to, but she had to stagger 4 kilometres before she could raise the alarm. And her white male attacker had vanished when she woke up, and no one was ever caught in connection to the attack. So that's a bit worrying, isn't it? Maybe there is somebody, but it seems funny that in a whole year they haven't done anything. But anyway, another theory is that she's lost in the forest because she's said to have occasionally suffered from low blood pressure, which may have combined with high temperatures on the day she vanished. She may have run out of water while jogging, which may have caused her to then become disorientated and lose her way in the forest. And they fear she may still be wandering aimlessly through the parkland. Well, let's hope she is, because if she is, at least she should be found or remained in a remote location awaiting rescue by the search parties. I mean, what would you do, if you were in that position and you could think enough to think? You just have to, well, first of all, you would just stay in one place, wouldn't you? Try and get as to an opener place as you could and wait for somebody to come. Because if you knew that your family knew where you'd gone, that you'd gone out for a run, and that was the area you'd gone out for the run, you'd just try and put yourself in a position, if you were able to, put yourself in a position where you could easily be found if somebody came searching, and do a lot of shouting. Another theory, hit and run. The route to the forest mountain trails where she regularly runs requires her to walk or jog along country roads, sparking fears she may have been involved in a traffic accident. Or wouldn't she have been found if she'd been involved in a traffic accident? But anyway, it's feared she may have been the victim of a callous hit and run, which has sent her flying into the verge or roadside bushes where she's unseen. However, locals report that the SES and police have already checked the verges along the key routes. So that doesn't seem very likely. Fallen down a mine shaft. So the Goldfields countryside around Ballarat is littered with abandoned mines and treacherous mine shafts where the unwitting could easily fall into. Miss Murphy would have had to have left her usual running trails to stumble and fall into one of the shafts, but it's possible if she had become disorientated. I think that's unlikely. But more sinisterly, the mine shafts would also provide an ideal hiding place for anyone trying to hide a body. There she is, Samantha. And they say she may have had a mental health episode. Now, what I'm dreading coming out here is somebody going to come out and say she had problems with the menopause or she'd been drinking a lot lately. I hope not. I hope it's not, it's not going to be the whole same story. Anyway, although there is nothing to suggest that this is likely, a mental health episode cannot be completely discounted as at least a possibility. The theory suggests Miss Murphy may have been facing some inner mental turmoil though there is no evidence to support that. But under those circumstances, it's possible she may have vanished to give herself space and time to address the issues, or tragically chosen to take her own life. It's all starting to give me the creeps this a bit, because it's reminding me too much of the other thing. She wouldn't have gone off, well, she's not gone off just in a jogging gear to, you know, to take time and space. She would have took some clothes with her and stuff. Anyway, she ran the financial side of the family's Inland Motor Bodywork smash repairs business. And so what they're saying here, remember, we're not supposed to be speculating, but the Daily Mail's having a really good speculate. They're saying she could have been a target for extortion. So she could have been kidnapped and abducted off the street and held for ransom. She was a prominent local businesswoman who ran the financial side of the family smash repairs business. She could theoretically have been the target for extortion, but the mammoth scale of the police operation suggests that they believe Miss Murphy is somewhere in the nearby bush and not being held for ransom at another location. And this is the last CCTV of Samantha. The other creepy thing, she has on, it's not a Fitbit, it's an Apple Watch, I think. So I'm sure they'll be using that to try and track her. I don't know if that'll be pivotal in it. Bit like the Fitbit. So, and the wildest theory of all is that middle-aged mum of 3, Samantha Murphy, pictured as she left home on Sunday, has abandoned her family to embark on a new life in secret. And there is nothing, though, to suggest that that is true. So that's the Mail telling us not to speculate, and then speculating and given all these different speculations. Yeah. Hi, Ruth. Okay. So that's the first thing that I wanted to show you. Let me put that down now. Now, another thing, before we start to look at the videos, I just want to tell you something else that the Mail reckons. They said that every year this family went on a holiday to the Great Ocean Road every year. But this summer just gone, Samantha did not go. So the husband went with the girls, or with the children. I think they're all girls. But Samantha did not go on this trip. So that's, you know, I think that's quite a significant thing. So missing mum Samantha Murphy was notably absent from her family's traditional summer holiday on Victoria's Surf Coast in the weeks before she vanished. Miss Murphy, well, we've seen that she's not been seen since Sunday. So Daily Mail Australia can reveal that Miss Murphy and her family had holidayed together at Torquay Caravan Park, the gateway to Victoria's iconic Great Ocean Road, for almost a decade. But this year, she did not go. Only her husband Mick and their children attended the park this year, where they stay in a luxury cabin. So is that significant, I wonder, that she didn't go on the family holiday? So just thought I'd mention that. Okay, now we're going to look at the videos. Yeah. Yeah, she works for her. She's the financial. She does the financial things at her husband's car business. So, okay, let's have a look at the video. So I've prepared a few videos. I downloaded them all and put them on one video, and we're going to watch them all.
Police and the family of missing mum Samantha Murphy.
So first of all, we're going to look at this one where the police lady's talking. This is like the equivalent of Sally Riley. Yeah, this is how it feels. It's like everything sort of reminds me a bit of the whole case.
Are providing an update.
Inspector Lisa McDougall. I'm the local area commander for the Ballarat Police Service Area. We're here today to talk about the investigation into missing person Samantha Murphy, who was last seen at 7 a.m. leaving her residence on Sunday morning, which was the 4th of February 2024.
To Ballarat right now in Victoria, where police and the family of missing mum Samantha Murphy are providing an update.
Inspector Lisa McDougall. I'm the local area commander for the Ballarat Police Service Area. We're here today to talk about the investigation into missing person Samantha Murphy, who was last seen at 7 a.m. leaving her residence on Sunday morning, which was the 4th of February 2024. What we really want to appeal to everyone today for is footage that they may have from their residence or from their dash cam from that period of time after she left her residence. So that period of
this lady just reminds me of how Sally was trotted out, like, you know, to say she looks quite stressed. She looks like when she had stopped them when a lorry went past. This would be horrible for the police as well, or for, you know, to have to come out and know that as this story starts to roll and starts to get traction, if you like, she knows that a lot of people are talking about you, just know that the eyes of the world are on you. It must be horrible, to be honest.
Time that we would wish for those community members to look at their CCTV from their residence is from 7 a.m. on Sunday morning through till the hours of about 11 a.m. We would like the community to not make any decisions about what is or isn't relevant. Certainly, if they find anything of interest on the footage, we'd like them to let police know that, and the most efficient.
Yeah, so they're at the point there now, you know, like it was with Nicola's case in the beginning, where they want everybody's information. She's saying, I'm not going to tell people what's important, what's not important. Whatever you find, it's important. That you'll see that the reporter goes on to ask, you know, do different things. She says, I'm not going to tell people to search or not to search. It's up to them what they do. You know, they're at this point now where they're just taking all the help that they can get. Or are they distracted? You know, they've got lines of inquiry that maybe they're pursuing, and they just let the public get on with searching, you know, maybe telling them to search places that they don't think are important. Who knows? You know, this is the point in a police investigation. You really do not know what's going on behind the scenes. And that was apparent with the Idaho 4 case with Brian Kohlberg. Before he was caught, like, the police were getting slagged off left, right and centre because they were, you know, it seemed like they weren't doing anything to catch the killer of these 4 young people that were killed in Idaho, in Moscow, in America. And then suddenly the guy was arrested, and it turned out there was a lot going on behind the scenes, you know. So it's sort of like you watch what the police have got to say, but you know that there's probably lots of other things going on, and there may be lots of other things that they know about that she will not tell us.
Way to let police know what they've found is via Crime Stoppers. You can reach out to Crime Stoppers via their phone number, or you can go online and register the information online, and that will come directly through to investigators. Today, we have continued the ground search in relation to Samantha. We have 40 resources on the ground at the moment, and they are both VicPol resources and CFA and SES. So our partner agencies are assisting us greatly with the search. We have used various assets internally, so that includes things like mounted branch over the last few days, our search and rescue. We've also had Pol Air up assisting us with the search. And today we also have some...
Well, who reckons that maybe Peter Falding's on his way over there in his helicopter? Sorry, just joking.
Drones up assisting us with that search. So that's ongoing for today.
Oh, and just fast forward it a bit. Hang on.
We're here today to talk about the investigation into missing person Samantha Murphy, who was last seen at 7 a.m, leaving her residence on Sunday morning, which was the 4th of February 2024. What we really want to appeal to everyone today for is footage that they may have from their residence or from their dash cam from that period of time after she left her residence. So that period of time that we would wish for those community members to look at their CCTV from their residence is from 7 a.m. on Sunday morning through till the hours of about 11 a.m. We would like the community to not make any decisions about what is or isn't relevant. Certainly if they find anything of interest on the footage, we'd like them to let police know that, and the most efficient way to let police know what they've found is via Crime Stoppers. You can reach out to Crime Stoppers via their phone number, or you can go online and register the information online, and that will come directly through to investigators. Today, we have continued the ground search in relation to Samantha. We have 40 resources on the ground at the moment, and they are both VicPol resources and CFA and SES. So our partner agencies are assisting us greatly with the search. We have used various assets internally, so that includes things like mounted branch over the last few days, our search and rescue. We've also had Pol Air up assisting us with the search. And today we also have some drones up assisting us with that search. So that's ongoing for today.
Yeah, so remember this when it was, it's very similar, isn't it, when they're saying about it was deployed all the different sort of search agencies, and yeah, you would have, if it was a bit closer, you won't be surprised if Peter Falding was winging his way down there. But anyway, and then anyway, they're at this stage, aren't they, when they want everyone's help. She's appealing for help, not help, but appealing for dash cam, etc.
That's really, for me, that's where we're at. And we're going to continue the search, and we're keeping an open mind and considering all possibilities, and we're being extremely thorough and methodical with that investigation.
It's been 5 days now since Samantha went missing. How confident are police that she'll be found?
Yeah, we're keeping an open mind and we're hopeful. So that search is ongoing, and we're throwing all those resources at it in the hope that we find Samantha and get some answers for her family, who are obviously concerned. And yeah, hence the reason I'm here asking for the community's assistance so that they can provide that information to us that might be crucial to that investigation.
Do police believe there are suspicious circumstances involved?
There are no suspicious circumstances that we've identified at this stage.
Beyond the CCTV.
So that's a sensible thing to say, isn't it? There are no suspicious circumstances that we've identified at this stage. You know, that's fair enough, isn't it? At the end of the day, these reports, they do ask stupid questions, because they're like saying, well, you know, do you think, they're saying, well, do you think she's still alive? Well, she can't answer that, can she?
That was released yesterday. Have police been able to map out where Sam may have gone?
We have some information that we are utilising to direct our searching. And so I should mention that the particular areas of CCTV and dash cam footage that we're looking for are the areas of Ballarat East, Canadian and Mount Helen. And like I said, to the east of Main Road or Geelong Road in particular are areas of interest to investigators.
We've seen a lot of local community come out to help as part of this search. Have any of them been able to find information to help with your investigation?
Look, there's been a number of items located and raised with investigators, and those have been assessed. There hasn't been anything that has had a direct connection to the investigation at this point in time. But again, we appeal to the community. If something is of interest to you, raise it to investigators so that we can assess it to see its relevance to the investigation.
Can you confirm why Buninyong was initially included in the search and then ultimately why it was ruled out?
So there was information provided to us that led us to that area and informed that aspect of the search.
Are you still collecting information from Sam's phone?
So again, that forms part of that information that I'm referring to.
We've seen a huge turnout from members of the community, a really heartwarming response. What would you say to those people who volunteered their time to help search for Sam?
Well, sincere thank you to everyone in the community. It has been really heartwarming. As a community member myself, it's great to see everyone's concern and obvious concern, as we all are. And we really thank them for their help, along with our...
Yeah, they're not at the point where they're telling the public to get stuffed yet. You know, at the moment, they want the public to help. I think the difference, though, as well, to be fair, is, you know, when you think about where Nicola Bulley went missing, it's so small there. You know, it really is a small place, whereas this is massive. So they're probably grateful for, you know, some people going around there. But, you know, it's a very tricky thing, because if the public are looking around that woodland and they do find something, there's the forensic, you know, implications of that, isn't there? So, you know, it's a difficult one, but I should imagine it's so massive, this area that they're searching, they're probably grateful for any help they can get.
Our partner agencies, remembering that SES is a volunteer agency, and their assistance has been gratefully received, as all the agencies that have assisted us with the search.
Yesterday there was a bit of confusion. Some community members we spoke to thought they weren't needed in the search anymore. Do police still really need them to be out and about searching? What else can they do to help?
So we're not going to officially register searchers from the community. Unfortunately, we don't have the capacity to do that. We're not going to tell people not to search. So it's something they can assess of their own volition. There is some information at the front of the Buninyong police station. If they do wish to do that, it provides some guidance and some safety information to them.
You're not treating it as suspicious, but as a female who runs by herself, is there any concern for people in that area? Should people not be doing that at the moment?
I'm not going to say what people can and can't do. Okay, so I'm just going to say that at the moment, there are no suspicious circumstances that have been identified. It's up to people to assess their safety and comfort levels.
Are any disused mine shafts factoring in the search warrant?
Not at this point.
When you say not suspicious, is there anything in Sam's history that might indicate that she does not want to be found?
There's nothing I can comment on that at this time.
We've received reports that police are investigating her movements at a Ballarat hospitality venue prior to her disappearance. Is there any truth to that?
Yeah, I don't have anything to provide comment on that at this time.
Did anyone at all know exactly where she was planning to run, what trail she was going to use prior to her leaving on Sunday morning?
So I understand that Sam had a routine and that she did regularly go out walking and running in those areas, but we're not aware of the exact route.
Can we confirm that it was a run she went on? The family released a statement online last night that seemed to indicate it was going to walk instead of run.
Yeah, I think she was a recreational user of that area in general. So it may have been walking, it may have been running.
And that CCTV still released by police, that was from the morning before she set off on that run? Just to confirm.
Is that the CCTV that shows her in her clothing? Yes, that is her.
And then she was seen running technically away from the forest in a northeasterly direction. So if that's the case, why is much of the search effort still in the forest?
Are you referring to the CCTV that's been recently released? So that CCTV footage is being examined and analysed to see if there is relevance, and we're still waiting on absolute confirmation that that is Sam.
In terms of earlier we did hear about that confirmation of the phone pinging. Have you had any further pings, or from her watch? Was she wearing her watch? Have you been able to track any of that?
Yeah, I won't comment on any of that particular detail, but I will say that that forms all of the investigation and the information that we're using to direct our search.
As time goes on, how desperate and dire does this search become?
Yeah, look, obviously we're still maintaining hope, and we're still looking for all of the relevant information to help us find some answers for Sam's family.
Have police been able to rule out foul play at this stage?
So we're maintaining an open mind. So there's no suspicious circumstances that we've identified.
Yeah, now she's a lot more assertive than Sally Riley, isn't she? She's very good, I think, in that sense. She just put, if she can't give them the answer, she just tells them she can't give them the answer. She doesn't make things up. I did feel with Sally Riley, sometimes she's just making things up just for something to say. She is much sort of more, much firmer, isn't she? And I do sort of feel for her, because she must realise that the eyes of the world are on her, and it's, I think I agree with what you're saying, her hair looks absolutely gorgeous, but I don't think it was that colour before, because some of the things that I've seen of her that were earlier on, a couple of days before, I think she's had that done for this, what's the word? I think she's had her hair done for this. I don't blame her. I bloody would as well.
This point in time.
Have her bank accounts been accessed? Or
Yeah,
I won't go into the particulars of the investigation. Yeah.
Obviously, we're about to talk to Mick, but can you tell us how the family are faring?
Yeah, so obviously, as any family would be, they're very concerned and they're very worried. And they are also really appreciative of the community assisting with this.
Can you talk through the scale of the police operation working in the background, particularly here at Ballarat West?
Yeah, so it is a large-scale operation. Obviously, everyone that's visible out on the ground can be seen by everyone, but that's supported behind the scenes, by having our structure in place to manage all of that.
And how long is the search expected to go for in its current form?
Yeah, that's going to be continually assessed.
Does the initial CCTV show anyone else leaving the house?
You don't ask stupid questions, these reporters. They just said to her, how long is the search going to go on for? How is she supposed to answer that? She doesn't know how long the bloody search is going to go on for. Well, they do ask stupid questions, reporters. They moan about social media, but I won't be there saying to her, oh, how long's the search going to go on for? Bloody idiot.
After Sam went on a run on Sunday morning.
I'm not going to make any further comment on that.
And can you give any rough idea of how much ground has been covered or searched in terms of this area?
I can just say it's been very comprehensive and an extensive search. There's been a huge amount of resources directed at it.
Has Samantha ever gone missing before?
No, not to our knowledge, no. And that's one of the reasons it's out of character for Samantha to go missing.
Who reported Sam missing to police?
It was her family members. Yep.
Does she have any mental health history of mental health issues?
Yeah, I won't go into that in this forum. Thanks.
Do you have a time on Sunday when she was reported?
So it was in the morning of Sunday.
And how does that 40 resources today compare to Tuesday and Wednesday?
Yeah, it's in along similar lines. Yep.
Anything else?
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was Acting Inspector Lisa McDougall speaking there in Ballarat about the disappearance of 51-year-old.
So, yeah, lots of similarities, isn't there? Not the sort of, even, she's like the equivalent of Sally Riley, but an upgrade version. And it's odd. Some of the things that they're saying are almost exactly the same. And then bearing in mind that she was wearing an Apple Watch, that's going to turn into the Fitbit, isn't it? Like the Fitbit thing. But I don't know. Right, the family's coming up, or the husband and one of the daughters are coming up to make a statement. The daughters, just to warn you, is quite upsetting. The daughter is very emotional.
Samantha Murphy. We are waiting. We have been told that Samantha's husband, Michael Murphy, will be reading a statement. Will not be taking questions, but will read a statement on behalf of the family, and he may be joined by his daughter, Jess. Of course, it has been an incredibly anxious 5 days for this family. Samantha set off for a run around 7 a.m. on Sunday morning in Ballarat East. Originally, they were expecting her to run through the Canadian State Forest, but as you heard from police just then, there have been several different search areas that have now been set up around Ballarat East, of course in Canada and in Mount Helen. As you heard from police then, they're looking at incredibly dense bushland in that area. They have had an extensive search, throwing lots of resources at that, including drones and police and Polair and SES crews on the ground. That has been widened to other areas. Mount Helen is a sort of a different area to where they originally have been searching. It was a regular routine that Samantha would head out on a standard run in the morning, and it was a lengthy run. We also know it was incredibly hot on Sunday morning. For this reason, though, police have made this appeal this morning, asking anyone in that area who may have CCTV or dash cam footage to come forward. They've asked locals in that area around Ballarat East, Canada and Mount Helen to review any footage they may have collected between 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. for anything, and they've asked locals not.
Okay, so here they are. So here's the husband, Mick, and one of the daughters. So let's see what you think. And I don't know.
To assess whether it's significant or not significant. They've simply asked them to come forward. You'll now be listening to Sam's husband, Mick.
Afternoon, everybody. We just decided to do a press conference to help us with the search for Sam. We overwhelmed by the help of the public and the community, what they, the way they've all formed together and come together as a unit to help us look for Sam and her disappearance. People just don't vanish into thin air. Someone's got to know something, whether it be any little thing that you might think's relevant, just call the police, let them know, that'll give us a bit of peace of mind if we get some hope from someone. And we just like to, if you can respect our privacy as well at home, whatnot, if we've got something, we'll come out and say it, and you'll be advised by the police or by us if we need be. But thanks for your time, and so once again, hopefully someone's got something that they can remember or they've seen.
Let's just have another look at him. Listen to that from the beginning. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we shouldn't speculate because at the end of the day, I don't know this guy. I don't know what he's normally like. It's just what struck me was when he said
it was
that
incredibly
really
hot on Sunday morning. For this reason, though, police have made this appeal this morning. Listening to Sam's husband, Mick.
Afternoon, everybody. We just decided to do a press conference to help us with the search for Sam. We overwhelmed by the help of the public and the community, what they, the way they've all formed together and come together as a unit to help us look for Sam and her disappearance. People just don't vanish into thin air. Someone's got to know something, whether it be any little thing that you might think's relevant.
I mean, it's like a script, isn't it? I mean, sorry, I don't, it's not a script, but people don't just vanish into thin air. Somebody must know something. It's all those same things. It's odd.
Just call the police, let them know,
Yeah, and what Kelly's just said there, that's, I think I noticed that he doesn't appeal to the camera to her, but you'll see that her daughter does. You'll see a difference. But anyway, we don't know. We don't know that it is to do with him. So
it'll give us a bit of peace of mind if we get some hope from someone. And we just like to, if you can respect our privacy as well at home, whatnot, if we've got something, we'll come out and say it, and you'll be advised by the police or by us if we need be. But thanks for your time, and so once again, hopefully someone's got something that they can remember or they've seen, and they can contact the authorities and put some light on the subject. And also, thanks very much for the people. The generosity throughout the community has been unbelievable. If we if we went and to accept all the food that would want to be cooked for us and like that, we wouldn't have to go to the supermarket for 12 months. You know, it's just really, really good. So thank you very much, everybody. And we really, really do appreciate everything. That the generosity throughout the community has been unbelievable.
Now, he does smile here when he's thanking them for the food. The food, you know, he does smile. Now, what you'll see is when his daughter is speaking after this, he does get quite upset then. So just to say, you know, I mean, I don't know, how do you act in a police conference, press conference? What are the things to say? You know, what, you know.
If we went and to accept all the food that would want to be cooked for us and like that, we wouldn't have to go to the supermarket for 12 months. You know, it's just really, really good. So thank you very much, everybody. And we really, really do appreciate everything that everyone's doing. Thank you. Yeah, just was.
Sorry, Jess, can we get you to step back?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi. I'm Jess. I'm Sam's oldest daughter. Just on behalf of my dad and myself and my siblings, I'd just really like to thank our family and friends for just their continuous love and support. It's really helping us to get through and to keep us strong and to keep us motivated to keep looking and keep moving forward. Mum's a really strong woman and she's far too determined to give up this fight. I know she's out there somewhere, so if you could please continue to search for her, to give us something to work with, we'd really appreciate it. Mum, we love you so much and we miss you and we need you at home with us. Please come home soon. I can't wait to see you and to give you the biggest hug when I do and to tell you off for giving us so much stress.
Now, I've got to say, while she's talking, you can see that what she's saying is heartfelt. And to be fair to Mick, he is really upset as well. Maybe he was just holding himself together there where he was when he was speaking, but you can see he does look upset there. So, yeah.
I love you. Thank you all for our time. And please stop taking photos of us and coming to our house. It's really hard. I just want to be able to walk around my house and feel safe. And it's a bit hard at the moment. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so, you know, this mainstream media says all those armchair detectives, we're like bad, but we're not the ones that are turning up, rocking up at the house, taking photos like the mainstream media are, and that's what she's asking for people not. I mean, you know, it just. I do think that was obviously you can see that she is so upset, and it was difficult to watch. But I just don't know about him. I can't make my mind up. But yeah, you know, it's.
A heartbreaking appeal there from Jess Murphy, the daughter of Samantha Murphy, who's been missing now for 5 days. She was joined by her father, Mick. Sam has been missing now for 5 days after going for a run on Sunday morning. She left around 7 a.m. in Ballarat East to run through some national park area and hasn't been seen since. Police are saying right then at that press conference that they are not ruling anything in or out, but at this stage there are no suspicious circumstances.
Now, before I carry on with the videos that I've got to show you, I just want to say there was in the Daily Mail again 2 hours ago, this was printed or said that homicide detectives have been called in to help lead the search for Samantha Murphy as the hunt for the missing mum enters its 6th day. So that's not very promising, is it, for the family? If they've called in homicide detectives, they must be thinking that she has come to some foul play. But that's just something that the Mail reported on just 2 hours ago, the Australian Mail. So specialist officers, they're saying, are brought in when it's feared a missing person has been the victim of foul play, but a body has not been found. So that's not you know, it's not very auspicious, but nothing's been announced yet. So let's carry on looking at that. Kelly, that's what they say on in the Daily Mail, in the Australian Mail.
The potential breakthrough.
Now, this what I'm going to show you now, just this is what happened a couple of days ago. There was a potential breakthrough and they thought they'd found something, but it didn't turn out.
In the search for missing Victorian mum, Samantha Murphy, has come to nothing. Items discovered just a few hundred metres from her Ballarat home aren't believed to be related to her whereabouts. The mother of three went for a run Sunday morning but never returned. Today, police released fresh CCTV of Samantha as search crews continued to comb nearby.
For those community members to look at their...
I didn't mean to do that. Hang on.
And
There's no suspicious circumstances that we've identified at this.
Why close to home?
Okay, thank you.
There are no suspicious circumstances.
That CCTV that they showed then of someone walking past a fence, that wasn't her. That's been found not to be her. So, sorry, I just pressed the wrong button there.
CCTV of Samantha as search crews continued to comb nearby bushland.
That is not her. Another lady has come forward to say that is in fact her. So that was a false sighting of her.
I feel scared. Like it's just bringing shivers to myself. You know, it's like, why close to home?
Mum, we love you so much and we miss you.
Devastated and desperate for answers.
And we need you at home with us.
The daughter and husband of missing Victorian woman Samantha Murphy pleading for her return 5 days after her mysterious disappearance.
Mum's a really strong woman and she's far too determined to give up this fight. I know she's out there somewhere.
people just don't vanish into thin air. Someone's got to know something.
The 51-year-old mother of three was last seen around 7 a.m. on Sunday, leaving her Ballarat home for her regular 20-kilometre run through the nearby state forest. She never returned.
It's not something as a mother that you expect that when you get up early hours of the morning and take a jog, that you're not going to return home that day to make your children cereal in the morning.
There's no suspicious circumstances that we've identified at this point in time. That search is ongoing and we're throwing all those resources at it in the hope that we find Samantha.
Victoria's top cop calling for an end to the speculation.
Importantly, the public should not speculate and shouldn't be going on social media and shouldn't be speculating on what they think has or hasn't occurred here.
As the family begged for privacy.
Please stop taking photos of us and coming to our house. It's really hard. I just want to be able to walk around my house and feel safe. And it's a bit hard at the moment.
Yeah, if you can respect our privacy as well at home, whatnot, you know, if we've got something, we'll come out and say it.
As the search ramps up, another woman has come forward revealing she was viciously attacked when jogging in an area near some.
So this is the girl that was attacked a year ago in that same forest.
Samantha's regular trail. An army of police, SES, fire crews and volunteers scouring local bushland today, desperately trying to find the beloved wife and mum before it's too late.
Hopefully someone's got something that they can remember or they've seen and they can contact the authorities and put some light on the subject.
I believe that if anyone can get through this, it will be Sam, and we need to find her for her husband and for her kids.
Please come home soon. I can't wait to see you and to give you the biggest hug when I do.
Sissy Austin is the woman you saw briefly in that story who was attacked while jogging. She's also helping with the search for Sam, has been good enough to speak to us now.
So they're going to interview this girl now that was attacked in that same place a year ago. And she's helping with the search.
Sissy, can we just, if it's okay, begin with your story? Tell us what happened to you.
Yeah, look, it's actually this Sunday that it's been a year since I was attacked running. I had gone for my weekend jog in a forest here in Ballarat, in the Lau Lau State Forest, and was attacked and woke up unconscious in the forest. So yeah, given that this Sunday is the anniversary of my attack, I just can't believe that another runner has gone missing in our town. And so yeah, the most useful thing I feel like I can do with myself at this time is help search for Sam.
Do you know the state forest well? Can you describe what the sort of terrain is like?
It's dense bushland. There's all different types of tracks. There's motorbike trails, and then there's some that are more wider, and then there's roads, like dirt roads. Lots of ferns, which I think a lot of us out searching today started focusing on walking through the ferns. Yeah, it's an eerie feeling out here. It's hard for everyone, but it's not as hard for us as it is for Sam's family, and my heart and soul goes out to Sam's family. And if they're watching this, we're doing absolutely everything that we can to search for Sam.
Sissy, do you feel safe being out there on this search?
Feeling safe is an interesting question these days. This is the second blow to the female running.
Yeah. Now listen to what she's going to say now, because somebody said you can't imagine somebody going out at 7 a.m. Maybe to attack somebody, but these people are out searching, and some of the searchers have been hassled. Some of the searchers have been hassled while they've been searching.
Community here in Ballarat, running communities are tight-knit communities, and we feel fear even more so now to put runners on and go out for a run. It's hard, it's not easy. There's been a few unruly men out in the forest, particularly yesterday. There was 2 that were reported to police for, harassing female.
While they're out there searching, there was 2 men reported for harassing females. She had to put one in her car. Ridiculous.
Searchers out there. Actually, one woman had to quickly jump in my car. So after yesterday, we're all just really looking out for each other and just really, really encouraging women who are coming out to search to go in pairs. But there's still hope. There's 110% still hope that we'll bring Sam home.
Thank you so much for being prepared to speak to us at a time like this, and for your help on this. A lot of people will be wishing the best for you and cheering you on. So all the best with the search. Let's hope we speak to you again with better news one day.
Thank you.
Released new security footage of missing Ballarat mum Samantha Murphy, taken on the morning she vanished while out for a run. They hope it will trigger help from the public. Today, police set up a crime scene just a few hundred metres from her family home.
At 4:15 this afternoon, detectives released this grainy image of...
Yeah, so this is not her. So when this video... when this news item came out, that has now been proven that it's not her, because the woman who it actually is came forward and said, actually, that was me.
Missing jogger Samantha Murphy, desperate for answers to the mystery, almost 80 hours after the mother of 3 vanished. Hours earlier, her husband was called to a crime scene after items were found. Michael Murphy stayed in his car talking with officers. SES search crews led police here to a junction of 2 tracks in the Canadian forest in East Ballarat. The scene is less than 400 metres from the family home, which Ms Murphy left on Sunday morning. Search crews found items they believed to be linked to the search. Police ordered the area to be taped off, but within hours that scene was abandoned. The items found to be unrelated.
The search area has been broadened, and the number of people that have been engaged in the search.
Late this afternoon, police moved their search area 8 kilometres south to Mount Helen. At the same time, they released the new security footage of her running near Warrenhype Road, east of the search zone. That vision was taken at 7:16 on Sunday morning. She was running northeast away from the forest. A confusing set of evidence with few clues for her family or the army of locals who've joined the search for a mum who went for a run and didn't come home.
Everyone is concerned for her welfare, but we're all sticking together with positive outcome that she might hopefully be out there somewhere. We want her home. We want her home safe.
And Ainsley Kosh is at Mount Helen this evening. Ainsley, crews are not giving up hope.
Mitch, that security footage has given new energy to the search effort. Police are hoping it will prompt other residents to check their CCTV footage and reveal the final moments that Samantha took before her disappearance. Now, tonight, the ground crews will continue their search efforts here in Mount Helen as long as daylight allows. Mitch.
Ainsley Kosh at Mount Helen, thank you.
New evidence released on a Utah County woman's disappearance. The Facebook page Finding Jerica shows pictures of Jerica Binks. Her family says they were captured on a Utah Department of Natural Resources.
Now, this is a different story, but I wanted to show you this because this was a big story for a long time, or a big missing person inquiry for a long time. So Jerinka Binks, I think her name is, she went, there was CCTV of her. Let's just go to the beginning of this video. There was CCTV of her. She went for a run on a trail, very similar to Samantha, but this was in America. And there was CCTV
Mount Helen
of her.
as long as daylight allows. Mitch.
Ainsley Kosh at Mount Helen, thank you.
Yeah. So here she is, this girl. She went for a run and never came back. And this for a year was a missing person case, suspected murder, MURD. I'm not supposed to say the word on YouTube, but never mind, I've said it now. So I just wanted to show you this because this is a case, a similar case, if you like, in the sense that she went out running and just didn't come back, but it turned out with a different outcome. It was not MURDER.
Evidence released on a Utah County woman's disappearance. The Facebook page Finding Jerica shows pictures of Jerica Binks. Her family says they were captured on a Utah Department of Natural Resources camera. The images apparently show Jerica running down the National Timpanogos Cave Trail and up American Fork Canyon. According to the family, the footage indicates she gained access to the trail from somewhere else. Jerica was last seen on February 18th when she told roommates she was going for a run.
Now,
good evening.
Then we go back to the other case. But that girl, Jerica Binks, was found a year later in a ravine. Or her body, her remains were found a year later. And I've got, yeah. So she was found on Sunday, April the 14th, the following year. A local hiker found the remains of the body, and that was confirmed as Jerica Binks. She was only 24-year-old girl, and they had tried to search for her when she went missing, but it sort of let her down a bit, I think, because it says intense winter weather mixed with rugged terrain impeded rescue crews from effectively searching the area in the immediate aftermath of her disappearance. Now, you know, this is so sad because a medical examination showed that she had broken her leg in 2 places, and authorities believe that the injuries were accidental. So poor Jerica, she probably sat there waiting to be rescued, and just starved to death. I don't know, starved to death. And finally, a local hiker came across her skeletal remains with personal items in a ravine. So she must have fallen it down the ravine. I mean, it's possible that somebody might have pushed her down the ravine, isn't it, or whatever. But we're looking at, she was found a year later, and it's thought that it was an accident. So, not that I'm hoping that that happens to Samantha, but what I'm trying to say is it is still possible, because if Jerica Binks would have been found within a week, she would have still been alive, I'm sure. You know, it's obviously, you know, I don't know how long you can live without food and water, etc. Probably a bloody miserable death anyway if she was still alive when she, you know, if she fell into the ravine, either accidentally or deliberately. It's possible, because she was a recovering, I mean, I shouldn't say that just because she was a recovering addict, but she had some mental health issues. It's possible she could have thrown herself into that ravine, or somebody could have pushed her into that ravine, but whatever, it's not thought. You know, there were the only injuries she had were the two that they could see were the broken legs. But you don't die of a broken leg, though, do you? But, you know, so it will always be a mystery. And maybe if the search, you know, you sort of think, well, why didn't the search teams find her? But anyway, I don't know. So she was found by someone, just happened to be climbing up there, found her skeletal remains. So the reason I'm bringing that up is it is within the bounds of possibility that Samantha may have tripped, may have fell, maybe somewhere waiting to be rescued, and she may be rescued. You know, she may be found and taken to hospital and recover. Let's hope so. Anyway, that's my prayer.
A search and rescue operation is still underway as we go to air tonight to find a missing mum, last seen almost 36 hours ago. Emma O'Sullivan has the latest from the search zone. And Emma, the mother of three, didn't come home from her morning run.
Mitch, police and family say this is totally out of character for Sam Murphy. The 51-year-old left for her regular run at 7 o'clock yesterday morning, and no one's heard from her since. Her run would normally take her through the state forest here, now the focus of a major search operation. It is...
Yeah, so every day that goes by, obviously, it's scarier and scarier, because if she's got injuries, they need to find her soon, because every day that goes by makes everything more difficult. Sorry.
Heavily used by walkers and joggers, but there are dozens of trails to check. Walking through thick bushland and searching from the sky. Rescue teams spent the day looking for mother of three, Samantha Murphy. Last seen leaving her Ballarat home to head out for a run at 7 o'clock yesterday morning.
It was a regular habit of hers to go out and walk the area or run the area, so she would have known the area quite well.
Family and friends say Miss Murphy's disappearance is out of character. She took her mobile phone with her. Police now working on picking up a signal in the hope it will provide a clue to her whereabouts. After setting off for a run, the 51-year-old travelled less than 10 kilometres.
I do think it's strange about a mobile phone pinging at 5:30 in the evening or in the afternoon, whichever way you look at it. So she's gone out at 7:30 in the morning, but the phone did not ping until 5:30 in the evening. You know, it makes you wonder why that is, and did someone take that mobile phone off her, you know? So
to the Canadian State Forest.
The SES are assisting us along with Forest Fire Management, and this afternoon we will have some assistance from our mounted branch.
Neighbours and friends joining the search party.
I've just rang some friends, ringing anyone I know.
Yeah, so do you see the police officer has definitely dyed her hair, bless her. I don't blame her. I mean, when you know you're going to be on the TV, you do want to look nice. Everyone's going to see that, you know. It's not being disrespectful or anything. It's fact, if anything, it's being respectful.
At the moment, who can come out and help us?
You know, I've known Mick for a long time, so yeah, it's really concerning.
it's fantastic everyone's sort of rallying together to try to find Sam.
The state forest is popular with walkers and runners and has dozens of trails. It's unknown which path Samantha Murphy took.
The community.
It's a beautiful place, isn't it? It's a beautiful place, and you know, it'd be scary to walk through it, but I love those sort of places, but just so desolate, aren't they?
They are the police's eyes and ears, and we really appreciate any information that may be of assistance being fed through to us.
Emma O'Sullivan, 7 News.
Who went missing after heading out on a morning run at Ballarat on Sunday morning. Cassie Zervos has the latest, and Cassie, police and volunteers are throwing everything at this search.
Mitch, Samantha Murphy's husband was too upset to speak publicly today, but told 7 News he's not giving up on finding her alive. With every passing hour, search crews are increasingly.
Specialist police are set to join the search for a mother of 3 who went missing after heading out on a morning run at Ballarat on Sunday morning. Cassie Zervos has the latest, and Cassie, police and volunteers are throwing everything at this search.
Mitch, Samantha Murphy's husband was too upset to speak publicly today, but told 7 News he's not giving up on finding her alive. With every passing hour, search crews are increasingly working against the clock. The search for a missing mum is into its 60th hour. 51-year-old Samantha Murphy's mobile phone last pinged at a telecommunications tower 11 kilometres from her home. So far, that's the only clue police have. With every passing hour, concerns for her safety grow. Police will have to abandon today's search at 8:30 p.m. But tomorrow they'll be joined by more officers travelling from Melbourne.
That could be my family member, you know. So, yeah, it affects everyone.
Mrs. Murphy left her Ballarat East property on Sunday at 7 a.m. She went for a run, something she did most days. But when she failed to return after several hours, her husband went searching. Today, hundreds of search crews, including SES and CFA, battled the rugged terrain, conducting line searches and scouring bushland.
There's mine shafts. That's the biggest concern, is that the mine shafts out there aren't very noticeable in some areas.
Locals upset by her out-of-character disappearance.
We've just seen this on, you know, just on Facebook, so we just want to go out there and try and help.
They've now joined the wide-scale search, determined to help bring her home.
If it was our family, we would want everyone else in the community to get behind us as well.
Cassie Zervos, 7 News.
Good evening. There's been a significant development in the search for missing Ballarat mother Samantha Murphy.
Police today evacuated part of a walking trail and declared a crime scene after finding items of interest. Mimi Becker with the latest.
After 4 days of tireless searching, finally a possible clue. The SES and police zoned in on some items found on a walking track and set up a crime scene less than a kilometre from Samantha Murphy's home.
A bit of hope, you know, anything is better than nothing.
Today, police had focused their search around the Ballarat East property. SES crews directly out the front as officers combed nearby paddocks and spoke to neighbours. Police released this image in CCTV showing the mother of 3 on her morning run on Sunday, but sadly, she never returned.
We're holding up. It's scary that we're getting onto another day. We just can't actually fathom what might have happened or how it happened, how somebody could just disappear.
Local residents once again selflessly answering the call to help search.
The terrain around here is pretty treacherous in some areas.
I'm a mum of 3, so yeah, I just really like her to be home with her 3 kids and her husband.
The 51-year-old's husband, Mick, drove to the search site at Wookarong Regional Park, but within 2.5 hours, police had reopened the park and declared the items weren't of interest. In another twist to this intriguing case, this time last year, Sissy Austin was brutally bashed and knocked unconscious while running in the Lal Lal State Forest 20 kilometres east of where Samantha went missing.
My absolute heart and soul is with Samantha's family, friends, community.
While Sissy's attacker was never caught, the community is adamant it won't give up hope finding Mrs. Murphy. She faces a fourth night lost in the bush.
We're talking about a mum of young kids, and we just want her to be found safe.
And Mimi joins me now live from the search zone. Mimi, residents need to check their CCTV.
They do, Alicia. Police and SES have moved the search to just off Yankee Flat Road. It's the direction that Samantha was seen running in the CCTV that they released today. But officers are really keen for residents to check their cameras and see if they can spot Samantha anytime between 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. on Sunday. As for the search here tonight, it will continue until around 8:30, and officers and volunteers are preparing to be back out again tomorrow as the search for Samantha Murphy enters day 5. Alicia?
Okay, Mimi, thank you.
The disturbing discovery of a body near a popular hiking, jogging, and cycling trail in American Fork Canyon. Evidence found by Utah County sheriffs suggesting it could be that of Jerica Bean.
Right, so this video, again, this is just was a news item when Jerica's body was found. Before they knew it was Jerica, but they thought it might be Jerica because she's the only person that had gone missing in. Oh no, there were 4 people had gone missing in this same area where Jerica was. Jerica's body was found. 4 people. It must be vast.
Binks was last seen going on a jog through the canyon more than a year ago now. ABC4's Brittany Johnson has the latest on the investigation.
I'm standing at the mouth of the canyon. The area where the remains were found is extremely steep and rugged, difficult to access even for the most experienced climbers. Nearly 850 feet above the canyon floor is where human remains were found by a man climbing the ravine.
He saw the area where the remains were located on his way up, and his initial thought was that somebody had just gone there and left some garbage in the area. But on his way back down, he saw what clearly appeared to be skeletal remains.
The remains are believed to belong to Jerica Binks. She was last seen February 18th of last year when she went for a run. Her images were picked up as she ran past the Utah State Developmental Center in American Fork.
If these remains turn out to be her, then it would be consistent with where she was seen across the other side of the canyon.
Sergeant Spencer Cannon says deputies located several personal items consistent with descriptions of property owned by Binks.
Not going to get into specifics of what was recovered.
According to the Utah Department of Public Safety's website, there are 4 people in addition to Binks missing out of Utah County.
While we believe it's her and the evidence that we have collected so far suggests that it is, we have to keep open the possibility that it's not.
And while there is evidence of injury,
there may have been a fall involved, but we don't know exactly the nature of what that would have been or exactly how those injuries were sustained.
Sheriffs say the possibility of someone causing harm to a person and then leaving the body in this area is highly unlikely. The remains were taken to the medical examiner's office for positive identification and cause of death. For now, reporting from the mouth of American Fork Canyon, I'm Brittany Johnson, ABC4 News.
Okay, so that's like the last video that I've got for you. So this is Samantha. We're all praying that Samantha will be found safe and well by some miracle. You know, it doesn't, every day that goes past, of course, it looks less and less likely. And now that they've brought in the homicide unit, makes you feel that they may think that there is some foul play one way or another for whatever reason, because we don't know everything they know. We don't know what else they might have found, what might have turned up from the phone, what might have turned up from the... I don't think they found the phone, have they? They've just had that ping. But they don't know we don't know if there's any cloud data on her Apple Watch. You know, so we just don't know all the details. But let's just hope and pray. Obviously, I'll give you any updates when I get them. you know, as updates, because I suppose they're just all waking up in Australia now as I'm going to bed. They'll all be waking up, and by this time tomorrow there may be some news. Hopefully it'll be good news. That's it. That is the story so far of Samantha Murphy, and let's hope that this story has a happy ending. It's not unheard of for stories to have a happy ending. Sometimes we hear so many stories that don't. You know, you can get a bit cynical, but it's not beyond the realms of possibility, is it? That there might be a happy ending. So I just want to thank you all for being here tonight with me. I hope you've found that case interesting. I think the similarities, you know, is it because it's right over the other side of the world, and is it just maybe that these, like the things that were said, like people don't just disappear and somebody must know something, maybe they're just things that just happen to occur to people to say, you know, should we read into it, anything into these things? Maybe we shouldn't, but anyway, I will see you tomorrow night. I think I'll be doing a live tomorrow night, so a public live. So I hope to see you all then. And until then, remember to live and love very wisely, very carefully. Don't go running next to ravines. You know, try. Mind you, I wasn't even running in a ravine, and I just tripped over a rock in the campo and fell over. You can fall over, so you've always got to make sure you've got your bloody phone with you and that, because yeah, anyone can have an accident. Sometimes I wonder maybe we should have a chip, you know, just for our own safety. I don't know. Anyway, night. And until I see you again, probably tomorrow, may your God go with you. Thank you. Night.